Here's the only 6-inch or 1/12 scale figure that has multiple finger articulation. This Savage Dragon figure has a bare-bodied variant, and the figure is from the legendary comic book Heroes series. So just for a little bit of clarity, this legendary comic book Heroes series is done by Marvel Toys. And Marvel Toys is actually the name that Toy Biz changed to when they lost their Marvel license to Hasbro back in about 2006 or 7. So while Hasbro was releasing their first few Marvel Legends waves back in 2007, Toy Biz, under the new name of Marvel Toys, released the figures from the legendary comic book Heroes. And these characters are really kind of random characters, I feel. However, the toy line is really short-lived. I think they only had 2 waves, the Pete BAF wave and the Monkey Man wave, and a few 2-packs. The Marvel Toys company only survived for about a year or 2, I think, before it finally is gone. That's why these figures are sometimes bunched in together with Marvel Legends, and most collectors still call them Toy Biz figures. And at that point of time, I think Toy Biz is still trying to improve their figures, and Savage Dragon is really savage in terms of the joints. But before we talk about the joints, let's just look at the figure itself. The head sculpt is decent, with the big fin on the head, just like in the comics, and he has the hairy paintwork on the arms, and also a bit on the chest behind the singlet. The belt is sculpted, and the jeans has good texture and a very good black wash. Really looks like a pair of jeans. Look at that. The amount of black wash really does make the jeans look good. And the Adidas shoes really looks good as well. There is the shoelace sculpt at the top of it, and you can see the sculpted grooves at the front part of the shoes as well. So in terms of the appearance, the sculpt and the paintwork, this figure is really one of the best in the legendary comic book Heroes series. And also comic accurate, having the oversized torso and arms on top of the normal sized legs. For articulation, it's pretty much standard for the whole body. We have the head ball hinge joint, and for the legs is the ball hip joint with the swivel over here, double hinged knee joint, and back then it was still the ankle hinge, and then there's this weird ankle sideways movement and the toe hinge. But the thing that really sets it apart are the fingers. And before that, the arm only has a single hinge joint with the bicep swivel, no butterfly joint on the shoulders. There is a forearm swivel as well, and there is a hinge for the hand, and the one that we've been waiting for. Look at the fingers. Each of the finger have 2 points of articulation. They can bend right in the middle of the finger. And the thumb has 1 point of articulation. And of course, when we have articulated fingers, the first thing that we want to do is flip the finger. And then after that is the web shooting hands. And trying to make it into a fist. Now, this one is a bit of problem because when you close up the fingers, the thumb doesn't really go over the finger well. So it's like looking like this instead of really a fist. This is about the best that I can make it look like a fist. And talking about articulated fingers, here is an example of the Toy Biz finger articulation where the whole stretch of 4 fingers are together and they move together as one. So this is pretty much one of the common finger articulation. I don't know why people actually like this. I don't like it at all because the hands are kind of like neither here nor there. I prefer having alternate hands compared to this. And also we have the individual finger articulation, but just one solid piece of finger, no mid articulation of the finger like the Savage Dragon. So for this one, if you want to make it into a fist, it looks kind of funny as well because the thumb is not where it should be in terms of making a fist. It's like you're doing this. Not so bad, I guess, but having an alternate hands in the form of a fist is definitely better than this. Same goes for the other hands. Same goes for Spidey over here. Individually articulated fingers, no articulation on the thumb though. And if you want to make the web shooting hands, it doesn't really look that great. There. So in terms of finger articulation, Toy Biz really found this at the very last minute at the end of their era. But the thing about this sort of articulation on the fingers is that the hand has to be big. So for a normal sized character like Spidey, a Punisher, or even Mr. Sinister, the hands are not big enough to be creating another articulation in the middle of the finger like the Savage Dragon. So it's really kind of a waste that none of the Toy Biz Marvel Legends Hulk got this finger treatment, except for maybe Mecha Hulk. But that itself is kind of a concept appearance, not an actual Hulk that appeared in the comics. So for you guys, are you team finger articulation or alternate hands? For me, I'm definitely in favor of alternate hands. But I definitely wouldn't mind seeing this sort of articulation on a finger of a bigger sized character. Thanks for watching. Do check out my other videos and peace out.